The Associated Press refuses to call the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America, and because of that, they lost access to many privileged areas. And due to them losing access, they are now suing the White House, saying that it's a violation of their First Amendment. Let's talk about it. So in the early days, Trump signed an executive order changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, and the Associated Press came out and said, we're not going to change it in our reporting. It's still going to be named the Gulf of Mexico in any AP articles. And then the Trump administration, for about 10 days now, has stated that they will not be inviting the Associated Press into privileged areas. They can still report on everything that they've been able to report on previously. They're just not invited into areas like the Oval Office or Air Force One. And these aren't like a everyone gets access to these areas type situation. Not every news agency gets access to these. So it's a privileged thing in order to get access. And if you're not going to play ball with the Trump administration, why should they give you access to these areas? Suing over it is such a tantrum move on the AP's part because it's not going to change anything. There's no way that a judge is going to say, oh yeah, they have to have access to the Oval Office. Like, that is the most ridiculous thing that I've ever heard. So as correctly called by other Republicans and the chief of staff of the White House, it's just a publicity stunt by the AP to get more eyeballs on the fact that they're not in this privileged position any longer, and to try to get others to side with them, which they're not going to. Because guess what? Those news agencies also want to be in those rooms and don't want to piss off the Trump administration and lose access like you have.